welcome to Ramadan Nights. Today's we have a very special interview and guests. As usual, we're going to be speaking about, of course, Ramadan and how to avoid, of course, also the Ramadan. We know in Ramadan we eat a lot of oil as usual. I'm sure most of you like to eat الجامات and basbous and most of the fat food. Also, one of the subjects we'll be speaking about is also how to exercise. 15-20 minutes a day. Also, avoid the spicy food. For many, heat burn, of course, and suhoor especially may occur to many. Also, things that we would not like to happen. Also, we're going to speak to doctors about the appointments and multivitamins we should be taking in Ramadan. Also, especially to continue to brush your teeth and, of course, flush several times a day. Let me first welcome, of course, my co-host and a colleague, and of course, a good friend of mine, Miss Lala. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. And how was your day today?
It was good, actually. I had a good futur today.
That's good to hear.
Good sleep today, so going to be focused today.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. And also, let's also welcome the Dr. Mohammed, the Nassir, plastic and consultant, and of course, cosmetic surgeon. Doctor, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being us here today. Doctor, as you may know, Ramadan is one of the holy months of the year. Also, we all love to focus, especially on the religious wise, fasting. Also, I'm trying to be closer to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and also be closer to the family. I would think also, family is very important. Doctor, first of all, so tell me, how is this holy month to you? What is it to Dr. Mohammed al-Nassir?
Wallahi, as you know, like Ramadan has like special place in every Muslim life, and really enjoy it a lot. Actually, I started preparing for Ramadan like few days or like 2 weeks prior to Ramadan, and I feel very happy to fast, to break my fast, to do my prayers with my fellow Muslims, and to be within my family, close to my family. It has like special kind of meanings for everybody.
Definitely, and it should, Doctor. I mean, family is one of the most important, I think, sectors we should be focusing on, especially in Ramadan. We're always busy with our work. As we know, you're a doctor, you're probably busy more than any other jobs also. It requires a lot of focus,
Yeah.
I would think. Doctor, working in Ramadan, especially in such a sensitive case to you as a doctor, how is it to you? How do you manage to do both, work, also do your jobs as a Muslim and most of the prayers, as you know, Taraweeh, and also being a doctor, you have many surgeons that have to do it. It has to be very sensitive cases. How do you take care of it?
Wallahi, it comes with like habits. Especially during training, because like I was trained in North America and in Europe, and fasting over there is quite difficult. It's even more difficult than Saudi Arabia or in the Arabic world. Because like here we are fasting almost like 14 or 15 hours, while in North America it's almost like 18 hours or 19 hours.
That's a lot.
So it's a lot. So during a hectic day of surgeries, you'll be going on and on and on. Sometimes you would be operating, and still, the adhan is, but you will continue working.
Sorry, you'll be operating and also fasting at the same time?
At the same time, yeah, because you cannot leave to eat something or drink something. So all these kind of things, you get used to it. But here in Saudi Arabia, it's easier. I feel it's easier. For me, like I try to work with the same schedule, like after 8 o'clock, after 8 a.m. So I start doing my operations, and in the evening I start doing my clinics. Because like after suhoor, you will just sleep few hours, and then you go to work as you are going to work like every day. So I feel it's easier than sleeping and doing your work in the afternoon or something.
That's true. Doctor, I do want to ask you, since every family has their own traditional ways, and every family gets together, but each family does have their certain ways of spending their holy month, or let's just say of enjoying their holy month. So what's your special with your family, and what is the routines or traditions that you do?
It's about eating together, iftar, prayers and sahur. I try to be on time, especially on iftar. Sometimes it's difficult because if you are working and stuff like that. But I believe like staying with the family, it's one of the most valuable things in the world. Like, so I try to give more time to be.
Give more time to the family, especially.
Yeah, if I can.
Family. I think it's nice to be with your family. I would think. Also, maybe you agree with me. Nice to be with the family, but sometimes also you get to a point where being with your family, the family gathering, too much gossiping, as you may know, especially here in all the Arab nation, everything we like to gossip a lot. Do you think sometimes we go out of the subject of Ramadan, of this very important gathering, or we should be focusing only on the gathering, or we should be focusing about how to be more holy, how to be speak about how to get closer. Also, the Eid's coming. Many discussion comes on.
Actually, you mentioned a very important point, like about gathering and doing nothing in particular. That's really significant. I believe if we are gathering, so we should do something that's useful to you, to me, to everybody. While just talking for the sake of talking, we leave nothing. And we have to remember that Ramadan is the month of reading, because it's the month of Quran as well. As we all know, Jibreel alayhi salam, peace upon him, he brought the Quran from the sky to Prophet Muhammad in Ramadan. So it's a holy month, and the first say in the Quran was Iqra, or read. So we have to read. But so more readings and to focus on prayers and holy sayings.
Do you take advantage of the holy month? I mean, some people, they just think, all I have to do is just fast. But do you take the time to actually pray and, read Quran and get close to God? Because most people forget this, and they think the main point is just to fast and break their fast.
Definitely.
Yeah, I focus on prayers because, if you look at the pillars of Islam, we have the first pillar of saying that there is no God except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there is no prophet except Muhammad, peace upon him. And then you have the prayers, and then you have zakat, and then is the fasting. So fasting is the pillar number 4, while prayers is pillar number 2. So you have to focus more on prayer compared with fasting. So
that's a very good point that you're mentioning. Doctor, you're open guy. I would think, Doctor, you're an open-minded guy. I mean, you lived overseas. You have the experience to fast overseas also. As you said, it was hard. Fasting overseas and fasting here in the kingdom, I'm sure there's a big gap, there's a big difference between them. What do you think is the most thing that you missed? Frankly speaking, I'm not going to say, okay, the family gathering, this is we all can answer, Frankly speaking, the difference between fasting here and overseas, and what are the advantages and also the disadvantages of it?
Probably you mentioned one point of the family, so I won't repeat that. But being in the kingdom or in the Arabic world, it has some feeling that you cannot find it abroad.
That's true.
Probably in different parts of the kingdom, or even in Egypt, you have some kind of rituals like fawanis, masaharati, these kind of things.
For you to mention Egypt, actually.
Yeah, so we don't have it in Riyadh. I'm from Riyadh. We don't have these kind of rituals here in Riyadh. But if you go to Jeddah, for example, they still have this kind of rituals from Egypt. Which I find it very interesting. It brings some kind of flavor to the month of Ramadan. The other thing is the food. The food is quite nice here compared.
It's always better here.
Yeah. You cannot compare. You cannot compare.
What is the food that you miss most? Gemat, probably.
Probably sambusa, legimat. Yeah. Probably they would say sambusa with a different name, like samosa, but the flavor is not the same. While abroad, you would know fasting is more difficult. You would be more tolerant, And the other thing, you would fast with other people who are Muslims as well, but from other countries who you were not accustomed to meet in Saudi Arabia, people, if you are in Europe, in France or Spain, you see a lot of people from Algeria, for example, from Morocco, from Tunisia. And if you are in North America, more people from different parts of the world gathering. And it will be very, very nice actually. And if you, like me and you, we are breaking our fast, and then like someone like Lara comes and she is not a Muslim and she would eat with us, you know. So she would.
Actually, the English people love ayam Muslim, alhamdulillah. But I'm saying, you know, the Americans or the, you know, the foreign people, they love to see new things, new traditions. So they would actually, you know, join you. In last year, where I heard it was a bunch of people actually went together and they were not even Muslim, but they wanted to try the feeling of, you know, fasting and breaking the fast. And most of them said it's, you know, a great thing, great blessing to have food, to drink. So they have a little feeling of what we, why we do this. What's the reason of all the whole fasting and, you know, why we're the prayer time. So they get a little taste of our traditions, I guess you can say, or our religion. And for most people, it's fantastic. But it's nice to say that some people are really interested in, you know, to get to know the Islamic life, the Islamic rules, the Islamic religion. It's really nice to see that there are some people out there that would like to see that.
That's very true, actually. I had the same experience with, I once was doing an interview also with people from France, guys from France. And I asked him, I said, he's here on business. I said, you're here, you're going to spend some business time also here in the time of Ramadan. He said, Ramadan, I've always been hearing about it, but I really would like to enjoy it here in the kingdom this time. I want to see how you guys also was able to pray and fast and then do your work, and at least you eat and the joyful of it. There's different feelings in this month. So it is a very nice experience also for non-Muslims actually also to try it. Also, Doctor, speaking about different religions and different types of cultures being with, I'm sure culture is a very important part, very important things in our life, suppose in Saudi Arabia or in the world. But different cultures, do you think Ramadan sometimes is different to them? Culture is different in Ramadan. For example, our culture as Saudis, for example, we go to Egypt, are close to us, but not even the same culture. Do you think there are different flavors in the kind of fasting also in Ramadan?
I feel it's quite different, like especially as the thing I mentioned about Egypt, like you have the fawanis, masaharati, stuff like that. We find it also in the other parts, like from the Arabic world, like Sudan or Algeria. They have special kind of rituals, special kind of food. I fasted with my friends from Morocco, and I've learned that during like breaking fasting that they have to eat special soup, which is the harira, you know. So it's different. Like they have special kind of food, special kind of rituals. Some people, they would go just for prayers and then they will delay like eating.
But doesn't most of the traditions do that? I mean, like they break their fast with the, you know, date and coffee, and they would go to prayers, and after Tarawih they would come back and finish their food.
Yeah, but some would eat actually, and then they would go for prayer. So it's different. Like
me personally, I like to do the whole thing one shot. Right?
I know, one time.
Prayer and eating at the same time?
No, I like to actually eat the dates.
Yeah.
Eat my food.
Yeah.
After that, I go to prayer, come back, have a cup of coffee, enjoy it a little bit. You know.
Actually, like I eat my dates and I have my laban, because like for me, I have to eat both together in order to break my fast. And then I go to prayer, but I eat a dinner later on. I cannot eat something more than dates and laban, and this is more healthy.
This is more healthy,
like
actually.
you cannot.
You're living the healthy style.
Yeah, I'm
You're
trying.
a doctor,
Yeah.
I think you should. You know.
Well, we are talking about, you know, the light exercises, dear viewers. We've been talking for the last episodes, you know, about safe, or let's just not make it safe, healthy food, healthy ways of eating, and what you should do during Ramadan, especially, you know, during this month, everyone eats and, you know, sits down for the show, and they're enjoying their sweets, and a lot of sweets, they get, you know, really heavy sweets.
Yeah.
And I can see, you know, the dippings dropping. I'm just like, this is too heavy.
A lot of
But
sweets and oils.
we are talking about how to exercise and who to talk to. Of course, the viewers, they should be talking to their doctors. And of course, since you're a doctor, what is your exercise, for example, during the month of Ramadan?
I usually try to exercise just before Maghrib prayer. Because like if you exercise before eating, so that would be the best time for you to burn fat. Not only during Ramadan, even during normal days. If you exercise before breakfast, so this is the best time to do exercise because you can burn fat. But if you exercise after breakfast, you are going to burn your breakfast. You get the point?
That's what most people do.
Yeah, and the best thing about it, like, it would be like 30 minutes, and even if you get tired, so you can drink like in Ramadan soon after it. You get the point? But if you exercise at 12 o'clock or 1 p.m., you will be very thirsty, very tired. You get my point?
So you think it's better to before you fast, before you eat in general,
yeah,
it's better to exercise?
Usually, this is the best time for exercise in general, during the day.
It's pretty information.
Just before breakfast, if you want to burn fat. But you can do exercise no matter like at what time during the day, but the best time to burn fat is just before breakfast.
So don't you want to burn the fat after you eat? I mean, you eat a lot of food, and you know, even though you're fasting, and sometimes you get full very easily and very early before starting eating, but people want to burn the fat that they ate. So this is what the point in their head is that, now let's just do gym, for example, after food or after prayers. So isn't that healthy also? Or
it's okay, yeah, but you would look for the window during the day, the best window, time window. That's just before eating. But you can do exercise even just before going to sleep. There is no harm in that.
Well, this is a new information, dear viewers, for you guys. But dear viewers, we're going to take a little break right now. We're going to see a report. So dear viewers, don't go anywhere. Welcome back, dear viewers. And of course, as you guys saw, we interviewed a lot of people, and of course, thanks to the great reporter who helped us, we're going to go back to the subject of Ramadan and of course the healthy ways of living style of the holy month, and of course taking use of the month. Not only that, we're going to be talking and discussing more subjects with our guests. There is a question in my mind, and I was discussing it with Walid before. When was the first time you started fasting? How old were you?
That is a good subject.
Probably it was like when I was 12, in my 6th grade.
You're 12.
Right.
12.
It's the right age, I guess, to start fasting.
I believe so. Because I did my elementary school here in Saudi, so usually like the teachers and the family, they will try to encourage you, like as a young chap, to fast. And you can do it. I mean,
12 is a correct age, you think?
I believe like from 12 up to 15, like you can just try a few days